Today's case is one that continues to highlight the systemic problems with CPS that, quite frankly, seems to be a national issue and not confined to a particular state. It is reminiscent of the Tommy Valva case, which is the very first video that I posted on this channel. And if you haven't watched that video, I'll definitely put a link to that in the description box. Hi guys, my name is Shay and welcome to my channel. I focus my cases on children and vulnerable victims, such as people with different disabilities. And today's case is one of those cases where it is a little boy with a disability, and we will just go right into it. On June 23, 2022, Detroit police officers were sent to a home in the 12,000 block of Monte Vista for a wellness check on a child at 12:45 a.m. It's unclear what prompted the well-being check so late at night, but clearly this was an urgent situation. When officers and a state child advocate arrived at the residence, Azura D. Friends was reportedly behaving oddly. Friends opened the door and tried to push the officers away as if there was nothing going on. When officers finally got into the house, they found 5 children living in squalor. Police repeatedly questioned Friends about the whereabouts of one of her 6 children, Chase Allen. She eventually told them that her son was in the basement. When officers checked the basement, they found the child's remains in a freezer. Friends reportedly told officers that Chase had medical issues and died a few months prior, so she put his body in the freezer. 3-year-old Chase was blind and lived in Detroit with his mother Azura D. Friends and 5 siblings. The siblings ranged in age from 3 months old to 9 years old. So how exactly did Chase meet such a terrible end, and what exactly led to his untimely demise? Well, you see, Friends had a history of abusing children and ignoring court-ordered mental health treatment, according to court records. CPS investigated Friends at least 5 times between 2017 and 2020 and substantiated multiple reports of improper supervision and physical neglect and abuse. Court records indicate prior contacts with CPS 3 times, even as far back as even 2016, and twice in 2017 due to physical abuse, improper supervision, SA, failure to protect, and physical neglect. In 2018, Friends was charged with third-degree CA, a felony, after she admitted to assaulting her then 2-year-old nephew. According to court records, Friends admitted to a CPS investigator that she improperly supervised, physically neglected, and physically abused the child who had been in her care for about a month. The child's father, Friends' brother, had passed away, and the child's mother told CPS workers that she allowed the toddler to live with Friends for a short time because she needed a break. Court records indicate the child's mother became suspicious that something was wrong, but she said Friends refused to send her a picture of her son and then refused to return him. When the child's grandmother went to pick up her grandson from Friends' home, she said she immediately knew her grandson had been abused. By the time the child got to a hospital, his lips were swollen, his left eye was black with a scratch under it, he had a contusion on his forehead and bruises to his rib cage and both ankles. Friends later pleaded guilty to 4th-degree CA, a misdemeanor, and the felony charge was dismissed. She received 2 years probation, which ended in February 2021. But that was far from the beginning of CPS workers being involved with the family. It's unclear why, but after Friends completed her probation on this criminal CA case, her children were again returned to her. Now fast forward to the discovery of Chase's little body. It's not clear what resulted in Chase's unaliving, but there were red flags that Chase was being abused. His grandmother revealed that Friends had allegedly told her that Chase burned his hand after touching hot noodles on a dish. Following this incident, the grandmother and other family members reportedly called CPS on Friends multiple times. After numerous visits from the state, Friends informed the grandmother that Chase had been moved to his paternal grandfather's girlfriend's place. This paternal grandfather was in jail at that time. However, once the grandfather got out of jail, he informed the grandmother that Chase wasn't living with his girlfriend. Also, 2 weeks prior to the discovery of Chase's body, some relatives had visited Frances' house to find out Chase's whereabouts. According to these same relatives, friends could not deal with Chase's disability, and so they offered to take him in if she couldn't cope with it. Relatives described Chase as a sweet, shy, and soft-spoken boy. He was just the absolute sweetest kid, according to everyone that knew him, and they just cannot understand why this had to happen. For the death of 3-year-old Chase, France was ultimately charged with felony murder, first-degree CA, torture, and concealing the death of an individual. She was denied bond recently at a court hearing, and her next court date is set for July 8th. I will continue to cover this case and see what happens in the end, but I just pray that she gets what she deserves, because this little boy did not deserve what happened to him, especially in this case where relatives were offering to take him and she just for whatever reason refused to let him go. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in and listening to this case. If you like this channel, please do subscribe and give this a thumbs up, and I will catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye.